David here with Figboot on Pens. Today I am remote at the DC Pen Show and have a very infamous pen. The infamous pen I have for you today is from Montegrappa, and it is one of the pens in their Cult series, which contains such pens as the Pirate as well as the Revolver. It is the Chaos. What I'm going to do today is go over the parts and features of the Chaos and talk about what I care for and what I don't care for in great deal. This pen is on loan from Bittner. Detlef Bittner is based out of Carmel, California, and has a website as well as a very nice brick and mortar store. If you're ever in the Carmel area, it's most definitely worth the visit. When it comes to high-end pens, especially like the ones that I'm showing today, Bittner is one of the better places to go. A little backstory on this pen. Back in 2010, the actor Sylvester Stallone joined Montegrappa as a formal partner. The story goes that Stallone was an aficionado of the Montegrappa brand. He owned an ultra-rare artist proof of a Montegrappa pen called the Golden Dragon, and he would use that pen to sign important contracts. That pen was unfortunately lost. Stallone turned to Montegrappa to see if it could be replaced. It couldn't, but what they did do with Stallone's creative input was create a new pen, the Chaos. The general pen community found it difficult to take the Chaos seriously. I think the main reason to begin with was kind of the rather ill-advised promotional video that had some very antiquated special effects. The promotional video was rather tough to watch and rather easy to mock. What I do want to do, however, today is kind of ignore the hype and focus on the pen itself, giving you a close-up look at the Chaos, which I feel would be interesting for folks, especially if you haven't had the opportunity to see one in person. The pen comes in this large square box. Let me take the lid off. And inside we have some documentation. There is a picture of Mr. Stallone with the pen, and inside is a certificate of authenticity. And then we have a nice user manual with another picture of Stallone on the cover and some nice pictures and information about the pen. Now, it would have been nice to have these two separate pieces have different pictures. It kind of looks a little bit odd to have two of the same picture here. The inside of the box, the actual box, let me get this out of the way, comes in this little pouch. And here is the actual box. Something I actually really like about this box is that the bottom is beveled down so the edges don't sit flat on the surface of a table. And so this makes the box very easy to lift up with a solid grip. That's a feature I actually wish other manufacturers would incorporate into their large boxes. On the top of the box it says Chaos and has a metal sword with a skull on it. A motif we'll be seeing a lot of on this pen. The cap, or the top, actually flips up, and the top of the box has a padded leather-like material, and then the pen is strapped in here in this leather pouch. Let me undo that and get this out of the way. This is a nice, like, thin leather pouch that it comes in. And here we have the pen, the Montegrappa Chaos. There's a lot going on this pen. The art is based on the work of a number of 16th century artists. The body of the pen is a black pearlescent celluloid with a sterling silver overlay. The pen is also available with a solid 18 karat gold overlay for a significantly higher price. Let's start by taking a look at the cap. The finial is imprinted with the Montegrappa logo and is surrounded by little black mounds polished at the top to let the sterling silver peek through. And I like that look. It's something different that I've never seen before. The top of the cap resembles to me something like a sash or a sleeve. And that then protruding from the sleeve is a fist which serves to hold the clip. And the guard of the sword is a winged skull. The clip is hinged and very functional, and it fits easily in a shirt or a pocket. A large snake is entwined on the cap. This is all one snake. I kind of tracked it around to the cap to make sure there were no design errors, and indeed it is all one connected snake. It is wrapped around such elements as a sash as well as these bands. These bands can be found throughout the pen and are yellow and red and combinations of both colors, meant to represent the colors of fire. The design incorporates an antique finish which really accents the silver with a translucent enamel. This really brings out the detail in things like the snake scales. Here at the bottom of the cap you can see some of the black pearlescent celluloid base, and then there is a small step down to the barrel. Besides the continuing bands, the barrel has two large lizards, as well as a very prominent skull. Again, I feel the aging technique used on the skull really helps the details pop. The Chaos is a piston filler, and the end of the barrel has another pearlescent celluloid piece which serves as the piston knob. It's a ratcheting piston system. I actually like hearing those clicks. On the end of the piston knob, it is engraved with the number of this pen, which for this specific pen is 564 out of the limited edition of 1000. And from what I've been told, these pens have sold very well. There are only maybe around 200 or so left. The cap twists off to reveal this very cool 18 karat gold nib. The nib is stamped with a skull. I like when pens have a special nib stamping for a limited edition pen. This one definitely matches the theme of the pen well. And then here's a look at the ebonite feed. The section is concave and it really helps provide a decent grip for the pen. At the end of the section, there is a band engraved with Montegrappa, and the wide threads are really not sharp at all. For a very heavy pen, the weight is fairly contained in the middle section here of the barrel, so it really doesn't feel out of control in your hand. The cap does post rather shallow, but this is a very heavy cap. You're not going to want to even attempt to write with this cap posted. The retail price for this silver version of the Chaos is a little over $5,500. The solid gold version is priced closer to $55,000. Is it worth it? Now, I don't own any Ed Hardy shirts, and I'm really not into things with skulls and snakes and swords, but I know lots of people are into those things. And if you enjoy those motifs, then this pen is very well crafted and very well built. It feels very solid. It feels like a quality pen. It's extravagant. It's ostentatious. But there are lots of folks who are into extravagant and ostentatious things. And as I mentioned before, they're nearly sold out of this pen, so there is a market out there for them. Would it have been nice if this was marketed differently, especially without that painful promotional video? Sure. I think that would have helped this pen to have a better reputation among folks who aren't in the target market. But this pen is what it is. It really doesn't pretend to be anything else. It is loud, it is gaudy, and it is perfect for you if you really want to make a statement with your pen. This pen is definitely a conversation starter. If you pull this thing out of your pocket to sign a document, folks will notice. So, thanks go out again to Detlef Bittner for the loan of this unique pen. Detlef has been great in letting me spend some time with some very expensive pens, and I appreciate it. Whether or not you are the target market for this pen, I hope that you found it interesting to at least take a closer look at this infamous writing device. Okay, until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.